Hi friends, welcome to my new video. Today we are going to cook a very nice dish which is called Atheli Murgi. It only means marinated chicken cooked with onion and tomato. So for that I start from here. I have parboiled, not even half, just parboiled the potatoes in the microwave. I have got some carrots, I took 3 carrots, nice thick big ones, and cleaned them and cut them into pieces. These are 4 boiled eggs which I'll be garnishing the whole dish with. This is a Greek yogurt, 2 tablespoons full. You can even use hang yogurt if you have. This, my all-time favorite, fried onions. They are 7 eating spoons. Tomato pronto or tomato puree. It is exactly 200 grams. Then we have the dry masalas here. I have taken 2 large spoons of Tandoori masala, 1 full teaspoon of Garam masala, 2 eating spoons of dhania or coriander seeds. Over here I have 1 teaspoonful of jeera or cumin. Next to it is peppercorns, 1 teaspoonful. Then we have 5 cardamoms here and about 8 cloves over here. Here in the middle I have taken little ajwain, 1 teaspoon, and over here 1 nice big teaspoon of chili flakes of degi mirch. Then I have cleaned and made skinless this chicken. I'll be using full chicken, and do not use very big chicken legs. Try to use small chicken legs. And I made some gashes over here and at the back so that the whole masala marinates inside. I have taken half lime to put in, and then 1 eating spoon of ginger garlic. Here I have Kashmiri Chillies dipped into water, removed the seeds and dipped into water for nice color, which will be grinding with this masala. And here I have 1 eating spoon of ginger garlic, 1 teaspoon of haldi or turmeric, 1 teaspoon of chili powder, and I have taken paprika powder for nice color. Here we have the salt and oil. What we are going to do to this thing, we are going to marinate it twice. So we can start it right away. In the first marination for this chicken, we put all the chicken inside a bowl. Then we squeeze half a lime into it, all over. Half a lime is more than enough. Then to this we add the ginger garlic paste and all this 3 masalas in it. Now all these things along with a little bit of salt, not too much, and very little oil, very little. With clean hands, we marinate this whole thing, rubbing all the masalas inside the chicken. Marinate it very nicely, turning the chicken upside down, seeing to it that it goes into the cuts that we have made in the chicken. So, good. This is our first marination. Now, we will be grinding our masalas for the second marination. So, in the meantime, just leave this marinated chicken on the side, cover it up, and you are supposed to leave it for at least 2 hours. Now we go on to grinding our masalas. So we throw all this together in the mixie. Along with ginger garlic and the red chilli. Leave the water on the side. We'll be using it later in this masala. We close the grinder, and since the masala is not very fine, we have to add little bit of water, not too much, from this chili. And from the side, all the masalas which are there, we just remove it with a spoon and mix it. So after 2 hours, I will do the second marinade. For that, I require all these masalas which are nicely grinded, nice and red in color. I put it nicely into the chicken. After putting the masala, again use your hands and mix this absolutely well. Mix it nice, properly, that all the masalas go into it. And at this time, you add your Greek yogurt or your hanged yogurt, whichever you have, into this and mix it well again. This will be all cooked when we cook the tomato and onion. For this, today I am going to show you 2 ways of making it. One way will be making it in the oven, and the second way would be making it in the pan for the ones who do not have an oven. So don't worry, you can use either ways of cooking. Now this marination, we leave it on the side. Actually, when you make it, leave it on the side for 3 to 4 hours and then start cooking what I do now. To cook this in a pan, I'll take a flat bottom, nice high pan, which I will be cooking it on the hot plate or on your stove. And for the oven, I will be using this dish and put it in the oven. So to prepare the tomato and onion gravy, before we start, I require at least 2 tablespoons of oil. on a big hot plate or on a big stove, switch it on to full. Now what we are going to do is we will cook tomato and onion, make a nice gravy, and this gravy let it cool and add to this chicken. Then we'll mix the whole thing and then again start in the same pan with 3 legs of chicken, because I've got 7, and in the oven with another 4 legs along with carrots and potatoes. When the oil is hot, before I start this, I forgot to show you something. I had at the back taken 20 grams of cumin. You can just take dry coconut if you get and put it in that masala and grind it together. So this 20 grams of cumin will go into this tomato and onion sauce. First we add the tomato puree to the oil, and then we add the onions and just mix it well and let it cook. And you make a nice gravy out of this, adding a little salt to taste. Don't add too much, because we have added salt here also. We are just making a gravy with this coconut cumin also. And this gravy, after it cooks nice, you can use fresh onion, chop it and fry it. As I said, not exact, I would say 7 eating spoons full, and after frying it you can add this tomato puree and cumin to it, or it's up to you how you like it. But don't forget to put little salt in it. We will cook it nice and a little thick gravy, because the chicken on its own will cook in its own juices. If at all we require, which I don't think so, we can add a little water when we are cooking in the pan, but in the oven no water will be required. For that I am certain. Now that the tomato and onion gravy is nice and has cooled down, and the marination we left for about 3-4 hours, we shall add all this, and with your clean hands massage this tomato and onion all in the chicken and the gravy. Now, as I said, we shall cook 4 in the oven. So this 4 with a nice gravy on top, we shall place it over here. So there is now no chance for it to dry up. If you miss a little gravy, put it on top, extra. And on this dish, when it finishes, We will be adding the chicken from here also to this, and then decorate the whole thing with the boiled eggs, which I have already shelled, cutting into half nicely, and this carrots. I would dip them in the same masala. I'll take about 4 and leave another 4 to cook in the pan. Put the same masala to the carrots and just leave the carrots in the middle or on the side, because carrots don't take much time to cook, and that is why I had parboiled the potatoes, which also I would dip half from this, say about 1, 2 and 3 potatoes, and leave 3 potatoes for that. Okay, this potatoes also just marinate it a little. You don't have to worry, because while parboiling the potatoes, I had already added salt into the potato. So you don't have to add any extra salt to this potatoes. This whole thing goes into the oven which is heated up at 180 degrees. You can even put it at 200 degrees if you like, but slow cooking for this would be really good. Where do we put this potato? Okay, next to this carrot. So here we are finished, and we shall put this in a preheated oven, which I'll be doing preheating at 200 degrees centigrade. We'll be cooking it at 200 degrees centigrade with the fan. Now, to make this chicken in the pan, we have to heat the pan at high. Over here, we'll have to use a little more oil than in the oven. So we put about 2 eating spoons of oil and let it heat up. It won't take much time. So when the oil is nice and hot, we take some gravy on the chicken and put the chicken in. Now we have to put the flame to half. And let it cook. Covering the lid fully. Here we need not worry about any water coming out, because there is not much liquid in it. It is nice and dry. Let it cook for some time, say about 5 to 8 minutes, and then we will turn the chicken and the potato and everything in it and let it cook further. After a while, we pick up the lid, See, the chicken is already started to cook. We shall at this time turn the chicken nicely. Now, there were people who had asked me to make this dish, and they were so specific about telling me the way they cook in Udwara. It's a sacred place for Parsis, and Parsis go over there not only for praying but to eat nice good food also. At this time we cover this up and I'll let you know further. So not necessary that this would be the one which is made in Udwara only. This is the way I cook my Atheli Murgi. And Udwara is not a great place to have Atheli Murgi because actually Atheli Murgi started in Bombay. It was an old man, a caterer, whose name was Mr. Tampal, and he originated this Atheli Murgi and served it in Lagan and Navjot. Because I did a little research on it. Now we open the lid and check if this is done. From the look of it, it is done. Now you see, I'll switch it off just now in a few minutes. All this extra oil which you see, don't get scared. You're not going to throw away all this extra oil. We will be taking all this extra oil into a small bowl. And then we can use this to make any curry, patia, any dish. A non-veg dish, of course. So all this oil we shall be removing in this bowl. Now we close this lid, and since the hot plate is hot and will remain hot for a while, we switch it off and just leave this whole thing over here. In the meantime, now you see how fast it was to cook it in a pan. In the meantime, the chicken which is cooking in the oven, I will remove it to turn the chicken and potatoes and everything. Now the look of this chicken is also beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. No two ways about it. So we take this and turn the chicken over here. We put back this chicken into the hot oven and wait for a while, because it is only 20 minutes that it was inside. I'll leave it again inside for another 20 minutes. Now that 40 minutes is over, we will switch off the oven and remove the dish outside. But take care you don't burn yourself with the steam. So when you remove it from the oven, this is how it looks. Same like the other one. Only thing is, it is more drier. But we'll mix both together. Now in the meantime, I've removed little oil. I will do the same thing here if there is a little excess oil in it. No, there is not much excess oil. So now I can add a little lime to it. So the remaining half lime, I will squeeze it here on top of this and a little on top of this, just to give it a nice pep. And this whole thing we will shift over here to serve it on the table nicely. And the boiled eggs which we had on the side, we shall cut it into half. But just a tip from me. If you want this chicken to be still tastier, what you got to do is, I used the normal oil. Instead of that, you use sarson ka tel, the mustard oil. And instead of using the normal salt, you use the black salt, and that will give 100% much tastier taste to this dish. So let's plate this dish out so that you can see how it looks. Now we plate out this dish. It is hot, and this is how your Atheli Murgi will look like. So to all my friends and family, if you cook this, you can cook it in the oven or you can cook it in the pan. Choice is yours. Taste it, or rather make it, taste it, and do let me know in your comments whether it was up to your palate or it was up to what you expected the Atheli Murgi to be. So till next time, till we meet again, bye bye, au revoir, and auf Wiedersehen.